What's up, everyone? Thank you for joining me. I greatly appreciate it. My drink's on a table that's a bit far away, so I'm just going to grab my drink real quick. I'll be right back. All right. Thank you very much for waiting, my Zero viewers. I appreciate you. No, seriously, though, for the people who tune in later on, I greatly appreciate you tuning in. Anyone here, greatly appreciate you tuning in. It means a lot to me. Gonna talk about a lot today. Kind of have a lot on my mind right now. Of course, I had that situation where two of my medications were not refilled. So I had to go a 2 week long period without two of my four medications. And that certainly was not ideal. I've experienced withdrawal effects in the past from stopping a medication cold turkey, and I was fearful that this would happen as a result now. Fortunately, I got my prescriptions refilled. I'm back on one of them, so I'm on three total medications right now, but I'm not taking one of them. And the reason for that is I want an explanation from my provider as to why these two medications were not refilled for 2 weeks so that we can avoid this at a future period, kind of using my position as leverage to try and get an explanation and to get assurance that something like this will never happen again. Unfortunately, I've yet to get an explanation, so I'm still off one of my medications called turkey. And yes, I am ambivalent about it. Part of me wants to say just go back on it. Maybe this was a one-off thing, but I don't know that with certainty. And I certainly don't want to develop a pattern of me going on medications and then being off medications consistently. That in itself would be detrimental to my health and put me in a much more dilapidated mental state. So that's what I'm ultimately trying to avoid as far as everything goes on the medication front. My other medications are going fine. I'm still taking them assiduously every single day. Every morning I wake up, it's the first thing that I do. I've been walking every day still. Today, let's see, where did I go? I get some steps in by walking to the library. I returned some 3 books that were overdue by 2 years. And the reason I went today in particular is because I needed to print out my job resume. So I was able to print out my resume and then come home. I actually have a job interview tomorrow. I'm not going to spoil what the job is. I actually don't feel comfortable sharing that with the internet, but it should be a good position. And I think it will give me good experience. It will be respectful of my time, the time constraints that I deal with, especially given that I will be returning as a college student this coming fall. And so I'm hoping that I get the position. I'm not going to overthink or do too much preparation for the position because I've had lots of jobs in this field. And I think that the experience I have is so applicable and it's so straightforward to explain. It doesn't require over preparation. I might think of some potential questions I'll be asked and kind of just give an off the cuff answer, and I'll adapt them as I need to in order to perfect and make them more effective. But as it stands right now, I'm not over preparing for the interview tomorrow. I am looking forward to the job interview. I'm looking forward to making some money. I was going to do a position as a caretaker, but unfortunately that fell through. It would have been caretaking for my mother, but it's just too many steps, and I need something that's now, not that's going to take 2 months from now, and it's too long of a process. So that's the direction I'm going with on the work front. I'll be able to build up some savings, have some money ready for when I return to college in the fall. And I'm hoping I can make enough quick enough so that I can take a summer course. A summer class at my university is about $1,000, which is significantly lower than most schools. I know that might sound like a lot, but it's actually much lower than other schools, and I could get that with a few paychecks. Beyond work, beyond the medication issue, I am excited that I'm getting some activities included in my life. I'm going to be attending my local Lions Club on the 24th to meet some of the Lions members. I have some experience with Lions Club in the past. I've never been a member, but in high school, I participated in a youth contest, a speech competition that was sponsored by Lions Club, and I represented the Webster Club in that contest. So I'm familiar with some of the names and faces of the organization already, and I announced my intention to attend the next meeting, and the members expressed delight in being able to see me, and some people attested that I would be a valuable member. So I'm excited to attend my first Lions Club meeting. Lions Club International is, well, an international organization. It's massive. They do all kinds of service. They do all kinds of events. And there's actually a Lions convention coming up in a neighboring town to me, which I would like to be able to attend. And I think you have to be a member in order to do so. The other activity that I'm going to be including in my life is I'll be attending a Toastmasters meeting next month for the first time. Toastmasters is an organization that provides public speaking opportunities. It's for like-minded people who share a passion for public speaking to help each other improve at their hobby. And it's not just limited to competition. There's all kinds of events and activities that they do. So I'm really excited for that. I have lots of public speaking experience from high school, from the college level, and being able to continue and pick that up again means a lot to me. Yeah, medication, the job front, the activities front. In April, I'll be giving a presentation at my fraternity, which I'm also eager to do. I haven't decided on an exact topic yet, but I'm kind of brainstorming ideas, and I have some, little bit of an idea of where I want to go with it. It's not going to be anything crazy. It'll probably be like 5 to 7 minutes tops, maybe, as short as 4 minutes, because I got to make sure I maintain the attention of my audience. And this particular audience, my fraternity, we have a lot to do that particular night. And I don't think anybody wants to sit and listen to a 12 to 20-minute presentation. As good of a speaker as I am, I just love when I toot my own horn, fellas. Seriously, though, I do get a lot coming up. I know in my last video, I iterated some of the stressors and challenges of living with bipolar disorder. The video title is I'm exhausted from living with bipolar disorder. And I'm kind of surprised how well that video is doing. It has some very interesting analytics. The view count is still down pretty low relative to the other videos I've been making recently, but the impressions click-through rate is huge. It's 14.6%. And to put that in perspective as a content creator, okay, but not great click-through rate is like probably the range of 2 to 4%. Average is probably 4 to 6. 6 to 10 is above average. Anything above 10 is excellent. So the fact that it has a 14.6% click-through rate is pretty good. I think YouTube is kind of just testing the video in the algorithm right now to see if people stay and watch it. And so far, that's gone pretty good. It's a 12-minute video, and it has an average view duration of 6 minutes and 1 second. So I'm confident that video will pick up some steam and get more people in the community to interact with. I have a pretty large community as it is. 1,269 people, but a lot of people aren't too active, and that's okay. Some people kind of just come in and, appear every now and then. They'll, tune in for one of every 10 videos, leave a comment. And I do have a lot of viewers who will watch, but not leave comments. It's just fine. But I like to engage with people, which is why I'm trying to do more of the live streams. It's a great opportunity to interact with viewers and stay engaged. And develop the ability to speak extemporaneously, because I do plan on launching a podcast at some future period. I was aiming for doing it next year, but I might do it this year. But it won't be like a recurring weekly thing or even monthly thing. It would be, for now, when I find someone who would be interesting and willing to speak with me, and it would be about mental health issues, maybe self-improvement areas, uh, topics of the brain, a whole myriad of topics. I won't be limited, and people will be able to reach out to me if they want to be a guest, or I can also initiate contact with people and try to gauge interest in appearing. And I think it would be a great opportunity for to expanding the direction of the channel, diversifying the content, getting more people in here. I'm really excited for the future as far as the channel goes and what's been going on in my life. I mean, for the most part, the medication refill issue has been mitigated. It's not solved because I still need an explanation as to why it took 2 weeks to get the medications refilled. But I'm feeling okay. Am a bit depressed. I'm not content with the way things are in my life right now. I aspire for greater things. I want to do more. But I also recognize that I'm doing a lot more than I did previously, than I did not too long ago. When I came out of mania, I was so depressed. I had so many racing thoughts and ideas. I had lack of sleep. I had rapid talking during the mania. I had false beliefs and perceptions during the mania. And some of that even continued into the depressive episode. So I've come a long way from not being able to get out of bed to now doing 10,000 steps a day, from not being able to get out of bed to reading, not on a consistent basis, but here and there, enjoying hobbies that I've always liked again. I did experience anhedonia for a time. That is the inability to experience pleasure from things you would usually enjoy. It's pretty common in people with depression. It's certainly common with me. I can't speak any exact statistics. I mean, I'm not too well read up on that, but I assume it would be something a lot of people in depression have. Like if you just look at the symptoms associated with depression and then compare it to what anhedonia is, I mean, it aligns very closely. Yeah, medication's going well, and I've said this before, but medication has saved my life in many ways. And I'm one of those people who used to be very resistant to the idea of going on medication. From my earliest of years, as a young kid, I didn't want to go on medications because I was afraid of the side effects they would have. And that's not to say I'm not nervous or cautious about the side effects that they could have. I'm still very cognizant of that. But I feel like the benefits in my case disproportionately outweigh the potential cons. And some of those cons are serious. Like when you look at things like increased appetite, weight gain, increased risk of stroke, increased risk of suicide, like serious things, then of course you want to be cognizant of them. But when the alternative is I can't get out of bed, when the alternative is I can't stop the racing thoughts in my head and I can't have control over my own mind, when the alternative is I lash out and have an unstable mood and mind and become accusatory to those I care about, then it's clear what choice is the right choice for myself. And the right choice might be different for different people. And that's totally fine. But from the very beginning, coming out of mania, medication, it restored my sanity. It reduced my depression with time. I had to experiment and try different medications with the help of a medical team. It alleviated my anxiety. A lot of my psychotic symptoms went away. I could go on and on. A lot of benefits. Negatives, I went from 180 pounds to 354 pounds. I'm working on getting that off now that I'm on a good medication regimen, which my medications do still have the side effect of weight gain, but it doesn't mean it's impossible to lose weight. As long as I have a calorie deficit from eating less and exercising, I should theoretically be fine. So I've gone from 354 to 299. I've lost 55 pounds over a relatively large amount of time, but hey, it's still in the right direction. And I'm confident this year, if I continue with my 10,000 steps a day, I'll be able to get down to hopefully like 220 or even 200. And I don't got to lose like an astronomical amount of weight in order to make that happen. Just requires consistency and dropping about 2 to 2.5, 3 pounds a week, which is very manageable, especially when you're as obese as I am. You burn fat quicker the heavier you are. That goes with having more muscle or fat, really. I do still deal with tremendous amounts of shame from my manic episode. I think about the things I said to those I care about, my friends, my family, my fraternity brothers, my employers. Well, I wouldn't put them in the same category of people I care about as the other groups, but of course I care about how I'm perceived. I care about how my actions affect others. And impulsively leaving jobs, losing jobs based off unpredictable behavior, getting kicked out of a university after getting into a fight, losing so many friendships, having to start over again. I thought I would never work again. I thought I would never be in school again. And I've done both. I've achieved both. I've proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that a manic episode does not ruin your life. It's certainly a barrier. It certainly interrupts your life. It can destroy your life as you know it, but it doesn't prohibit you from rebuilding. It does not stop you from making an effort to improve elements of your life, develop consistency again, bolster your confidence again, and get back on a positive trajectory. I've done exactly that. I've restored relationships with family to an extent. I've not made any friends, but that's because I'm not in any social circles right now. And ideally, with these clubs I'm joining, Lions Club, Toastmasters, returning to school in the fall, hopefully starting a job tomorrow if the interview goes smoothly, I'll have plenty of opportunities to socialize and at the very least make acquaintances. I mean, I laugh, but it's better than nothing, right? I'm grateful for how far I've come. Optimistic about where I'm going. I have a lot of people in my corner that are rooting me. I think that the size of this community is evidence of that. And so, even though I'll make it a video on occasion talking about me feeling low, it's because I just want to be truthful. I just want to be honest with my viewers as a means to hold myself accountable, as a way of monitoring and measuring my improvement. To what degree have I improved, if at all? That sort of thing. Excuse me. I'm still using social media at an unhealthy rate. I'm embarrassed about how much screen time I had this previous week. I get the notification every Sunday, and I don't think this week is going to result in a much better number. It's not going to be much of an improvement. I love some downwards movement as far as total screen time average per day, but I don't think that's going to happen right now unless I really pick up some momentum these next few days. I'm very motivated lately to make YouTube content, and I actually find it interesting when you juxtapose it to my current schedule. I'm doing the 10,000 steps of walking, which is pretty time consuming. I do a lot of catch up sleep throughout the day in order to, well, catch up on sleep. And yeah, got a lot of content that pumping out. I've noticed. I mean, let's see. Since February 8th, I put out 11 long form videos. And I mean, the best one was the IQ test one. That's at 304 views. The other ones can use a little more performance. The DECA, one of the DECA videos is picking up steam. People are discovering it in the search results when they search up DECA strategies. And that's an evergreen content video, meaning that it's going to gradually keep getting views consistently over time. And that may be like You might think, well, isn't that the case with all videos? Not necessarily. The majority of YouTube content that creators make, they'll get the majority of their views in the first 2 weeks to 28 days of being uploaded. But after that, unless it's like a viral video or a medium size or big content creator, which is not most YouTubers, then the video it has a graph where it goes up and then it flatlines. And then occasionally it will get a trickling of views in. But with this Deca video, the line is like a slow and steady growth rate. So it's picking up 7 to 10 views a day. And it's from people who are trying to look for Deca strategies. So I'm glad that video is doing well. And I'm thinking about doing content for advanced placement courses as well. So I did really well on those in high school. And I think that would be some evergreen content that people would benefit and learn from and hopefully improve outcomes so that more high school students can get credit for the respective colleges or universities they go to. I just want to make an impact in as many ways as I can. And I know mental health isn't the only area. I'm a motivated guy with a hard work ethic. And so that's my intent with the Deca videos. That's my intent going forward with possibly making videos on improving, like in classes such as AP US History or Advanced Placement World History, Advanced Placement English Language and Composition. I just want to make an impact in whatever areas that I can, leave my mark. And 20 years from now, 30 years from now, when people are still competing in DECA, 50 years from now, when people are still taking those AP classes, 100 years from now, when people are still experiencing bipolar manic episodes or bipolar depression, they'll see my videos on DECA. They'll see my videos on bipolar disorder and everything else that I talk about. They'll see my videos about the AP classes, and I'll continue to make an impact long after I'm gone from this world. And that's what I tell myself. Oh, we got a viewer in here. Rob Bertram. Hey, how you doing? Hey, Tyler. Hope you're doing great. I wish I could say I'm doing phenomenal, Rob, but I'm not doing terrible either. Probably somewhere between bad and okay, I guess. But there's a lot that I have coming up that will help me get to that place of being good, but somewhere between okay and good. Not sure if you were here for it, but I'm going to be attending a Lions Club meeting as well as a Toastmasters meeting, and I have a job interview tomorrow. So those are 3 big things that I have on my plate that hopefully could help me get my life moving in a positive direction again. How have you been, Rob? It actually doesn't tell me who the viewers are. It just says that there's 2 of you here right now. So I can't tell if you're here or not still, but if you are, if not, no worries. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate it. We are 23 minutes into the stream so far. Incredible. Time is flying by. I actually enjoy what I'm talking about. Nice, Tyler. That's great. You enjoy hearing yourself talk. I've engaged with 1 viewer so far, but I'm actually enjoying this stream regardless. So. Welcome, anybody joining in. If there's anything you'd like to talk about, I was just discussing kind of what's on my mind, what's been going on in my life lately, what's coming up in my life. Talk about anything and everything. I'm just here to hang out with anybody who's willing to hang out. But between the job interview and potentially working again, joining the Lions Club and being involved in community service again, joining the Toastmasters Club and practicing my passion for public speaking again, there's a whole lot that I'm looking forward to right now in my life. Even though I'm not in the happiest of states, I'm not in the worst of states either. So is there still room for improvement? Absolutely. But I think that's usually always the case. I subscribe to that quote by Vince Lombardi. Perfection is not attainable. But if we chase perfection, we can catch excellence. One of the ways I'm trying to do that is by being smarter about the decisions I make, picking my battles more carefully. When I was manic, for example, I got outraged and overcommitted and over things that were incredibly trivial, things that were not particularly significant, things that were nominal, things that were minuscule. I just blew them up out of proportion in my mind, and it consumed me, robbed me of my productivity, robbed me of my sanity, and a whole host of other things. I do better with that now, not being in mania. Forward thinking. I'm thinking about the future, and I'm thinking about the difference I can make in this world when I'm healthy and stable. I'm thinking about my potential and my aptitude to succeed in areas that I commit myself to. I'm just overall very grateful for a lot of things, but especially the channel and the community that we've built here. And it's just so much positivity, and it's really cool getting comments on videos that I published in 2024 or 2022 and having people tell me that my video made them feel less alone, or sharing my experience inspired them and motivates them to keep fighting on and not give up, that sort of thing. That's what I do this for. Rob says Toastmasters sounds exciting. Yeah, I agree, Rob. I totally agree. I'm very excited to see what's in store. I spoke with, I think it was the club president or like membership director. I'm not sure what her exact position is, but I spoke to her for about 20 minutes on the phone a few nights ago. And she told me that one of the first things you do as a new member is you write an icebreaker speech and you deliver it. And you're not talking about your past or, your whole history. You're just talking about what makes you you, what characteristics define you. And so I'm interested in writing that. I kind of want to start writing it now, even though I haven't been to a meeting yet. But there's a lot of activities that Toastmasters does. I would like to get involved in the international speech competition at some point through Toastmasters. And that's something on my bucket list and this is a huge thing, I know. I swear I'm not manic, but I'm confident I could do this if I apply myself. I want to become champion of the world at Toastmasters public speaking. And it's a tough thing to do. To my knowledge, there's never been a repeat winner. It's a different winner every year. And so the competition is fierce. And if you look at examples of the championship level speaking of Toastmasters on YouTube, you'll see some phenomenal speeches, impeccable, the tone, the pacing, the body language, the rhetorical devices that they employ, the mental syntax, the structure of the sentences that they recite and perform. They just come alive on stage in a way that certainly I've never seen a politician do. If I could become a Toastmasters world champion, then in the future I will be a fantastic politician. Rob says, public speaking was one of my favorite classes when I went back to college in my mid-30s. Okay. Yeah, it's one of mine too. I think it was called Public Speaking 160 at UMass Amherst. That was in 2020 amidst the pandemic, the COVID lockdown. We were supposed to do 3 total speeches for the year, 3 different types of speeches. We only got to do 1 in person because then lockdowns happened. We all got sent home by UMass. And so the class became fully online. The last thing we had to do was a presentation or speech, but we had to do it to a camera, which wasn't the most exciting thing. It's not the same as having an in-person crowd, but I still enjoyed it. And I actually have the speech that I gave to the camera on my channel. It's a speech called Save the Post Office, and it's very argumentative. I don't think it's particularly political. I bash both Democrats and Republicans in it, so I make some interesting comparisons, but that's one of my favorite videos is on my channel. I'm curious how many views that actually has. I haven't checked it in a while. So the video is called Save the Post Office, UMass Amherst Public Speaking Final. It has exactly 444 views. Interesting. That's more than I actually thought it had. must have been, picking up a little bit of views here and there over the years. But if you want to get an idea of my public speaking ability, how capable I am or how capable I'm not, and evaluate for yourself how good I am, I have a few different speeches on my channel. I have that one. I also have the Lions Club Youth Speech Competition, my second video ever uploaded, which was in 2019. I also got the UMass Got Talent rap monologue, which I did in 2021. I need more speeches on here. And that's a series idea I actually plan on doing. I'm not sure it's the best niche for my audience because right now I have different subsets of audiences within my audience. I have about 200 subscribers who came from me making comedy reaction videos. I have about, 1,000 that came from my mental health content. And so those niches aren't particularly going to be like excited for this series I'm thinking of doing, but I'm excited to do it. And I think it will expand and broaden, diversify the audience. So the idea I have is to improve my public speaking skills by memorizing and then reciting famous speeches from history in front of my camera and then just uploading them as is. So I'm going to try and focus on speeches that were around prior to the invention of the camera, prior to the invention of audio. That way I can make speeches come alive that never had the chance to shine in the spotlight of the camera or thrive on audio. And yeah, I'm delighted to do that. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Appreciate each and every one of you. A lot to be excited about. And I really don't want to do this, but I'm going to check my Facebook. See what people are saying. Nothing, apparently. Okay. Interesting. It's a habit that I got to get out of, is checking my social media constantly. That ad infinitum pattern of scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. So addictive, has so many consequences. But it is what it is. I'm addicted. Got to work on that. It's just one of many areas that I could improve in. And with diligence and commitment, I know that I will. Let's see. Oh, that's cool. My YouTube short about smartphone addiction is picking up. Not doing the best, but it's at 668 views. That's pretty cool. If you haven't seen that video, I have a YouTube short about smartphone addiction, and it's about 13 seconds, I think. And I just provide 3 shocking statistics about smartphone addiction. Let me refresh here. Okay. Welcome, everybody. What are y'all plans for today, or what have you accomplished today? Do you have any wins you want to share? Any goals that you have for the rest of this night, no matter how small or large? I started learning more vocabulary today. It's just something that I do every now and then. I'll make vocabulary cards, usually about 100 at a time, and then I'll memorize all their definitions and try to incorporate them in the sentences as well. And mostly just in the event that I come across them, I'll understand them, because I do plan on taking some postgraduate exams like the GRE and the LSAT, the law school admission test. And the more proficient I am in vocabulary, the higher the probability that I'll perform well on those particular examinations. I got to start picking up reading again, though. I haven't done it in a little while. I still read more than the average American, that's for sure. I think like close to 50% of Americans read 0 books a year. The average American reads 2 books a year. And if you read like 10 books a year, which in the past wasn't that many, but in today's digital age is a lot, it would put you in like the 90th percentile of total books read. You read more than 90% of people, and reading is highly advantageous. Lots of billionaires, one of the things that they recommend is reading. Reading's never a waste of time, especially if you're active reading and trying to learn and store the information that you learn for long-term memory. Welcome everybody coming in. So yeah, if anybody has any small wins they'd like to share, you don't have to, but love to hear them. My small wins today are I went to the library, returned some books, printed out my resume for my interview tomorrow. Just a second, folks. I'll check the comment section in a moment. I just want to see something on my end. Okay. One fairly interesting thing I did about a week ago now, I impulsively sent an email, tagged about 10 different departments on it. The email I sent was to the chancellor of my former university, UMass Amherst. And I just sent him an email explaining my situation, what circumstances led up to me being kicked out, requesting if the decision could be overturned, even though I have no intention of returning there, but just as a sort of vindication, an acknowledgement of the fact that it wasn't my fault what happened, that I was dealing with a severe mental health crisis. And for an institution that proclaims to be progressive and ahead of its times, it's quite odd that they would punish somebody for a mental health disability beyond their control. But I'm picking my battles, and I'm not going to overcommit to pursuing this. I am happy at my new college. I'm excited to return this fall. I have no expectation of seeing a return email, by the way. I've emailed my former college many times about getting a new appeal hearing to reverse the expulsion, but it's fallen on deaf ears and blind eyes. Anybody tuning in, welcome. Appreciate you being here. Not too many comments today, but that's all right. No need, not necessary. I'll keep talking my head off. I'll hang out with myself. I'm used to it. I'm accustomed to it at this point. I won't judge. Had some family members visit today. Didn't see them very much. I mean, which is what it is. I kind of didn't want to see them anyways, which is sad to say, but it's the truth. I think that I'm in a better position to prepare myself for school this fall semester than last fall. I'm taking on experiences that will allow me to more efficiently adapt to a school routine. That's one thing that was very frustrating about last semester is the 3 hours, the logistical nature of riding 3 hours on the bus every day to go attend 2.5 hours of classes on any particular day. And the ride always made me so nauseous. I would throw up half the time I rode it. And I didn't seem to get much better with time, maybe a little bit, but even when I didn't throw up, I would still feel very nauseous, even an hour into my first class. So hopefully I could get better at that. I'm sure there's something out there I could take that will help lower the chances of me getting sick or make me feel less nauseous. There is something out there, but I forget what it's called. It's eluding me. But that's something I plan on preparing for too, and hopefully getting myself to adapt to those conditions and not experience as much sickness, allow me to focus better on my classes. And that routine of being in Lions Club, being in Toastmasters, getting a job again, I think will be very beneficial to me. Get me out of the house more, not sitting at home isolated with my racing thoughts and my mental demons. I do have to make sure that I balance my mental health with school. That's important in the short run and the long run. In the short run, if I want to get good grades, in the long run, if I want to go to law school, 'cause the rigor, the demands of law school will be far greater than anything that I'm dealing with now. There's no question about that. Rob says maybe the right person will see your request one day. Yeah, I think you're referring to the UMass email. Yeah, I've probably sent over a dozen emails at this point, maybe made a couple dozen phone calls and have not had much success. Had a lot of, you know, dancing around, not giving direct answers, a lot of prevaricating. But one area of success I did have with my emails is I reached out to the academic dean of my former college, my major at UMass, and the F's on my transcript from when I was manic, I requested to have them removed. I met with her on Zoom, filled out a couple forms, and she removed them, which made it much easier for me to transfer to my new university. And it's interesting, she actually recommended to me, she advised me to pursue getting the expulsion reversed and told me who to reach out to. And I reached out to that person and they never have gotten back to me. But I'm not too worried about it. I'm at a new school and I think the pros of being here are a lot better. I think it's healthier for me. I'll more likely stay stable out here. This is diet soda for anybody wondering. So I'm not getting rid of all the progress I made with the 10,000 steps a day that I'm doing. I've substituted sugary soda with diet soda. And I know there's a whole long list of negatives associated with drinking diet soda, any form of soda, but it's better than the alternative in my particular case. And I enjoy it. I feel like it's a hack. Down 55 pounds overall and 27 pounds this year. Moving in the right direction. That's what matters. Anybody just joining, thank you for tuning in. Just kind of giving life updates of my own. If you want to share any from your life or not, that's totally fine. But talking about anything and everything, there's nothing off the table. There's no specific topic for tonight. Kind of just flowing freely here throughout the night. Time is it? Oh, 7:08. 7:08 in Eastern time right now. something that I'm hoping I could derive out of the activities I have coming up in the form of Lions Club, Toastmasters, getting a job is there is a distinction between creating content and creating connection. I'm an introverted guy, I'll be the first one to say, but social connection is still important to me in moderation. I think the key word is balance in my case, and that might be applicable to a lot of you or other people as well. But I do need it to an extent. And there's a psychologist named James Van Fleet who talks about the 14 basic human desires that he argues all humans have. And two of those 14 desires are sense of belonging and sense of peer approval. We want to feel like we fit in. We want to feel like we're perceived in a positive way. It's something that people have a natural inclination towards. And there's a lot of people who will attest and say, oh, I don't give a damn what people think, but everybody does to an extent. Anybody who says otherwise is trying to sell you a bridge. I have had a lot of pressure on myself to lose weight quickly, and I've tried to devise ways to expedite the process, but at the same time, I know there's a lot of negatives that come with losing weight too fast. One of them being usually when you lose weight too fast, you're much more likely to put the weight back on. And it kind of makes sense because you didn't really develop those new behaviors of consistency in the kitchen and routine if you lose it too quick. It takes time to create new habits. It takes time to reinforce positive habits. It takes time to eradicate bad or negative habits. It takes diligence and commitment. So I've had pressure to lose weight quickly, but overall, I know that doing so would be detrimental. And your odds, from what I understand, of getting like loose skin, developing saggy skin, are much higher if you lose weight too quickly. If you lose it at a more reasonable rate, your elasticity is better. It gives it more time to adapt to your new structure. But even still, I have a feeling that with the amount that I weigh, I mean, I'm morbidly obese. My BMI, my body mass index is off the charts. So I know that when I get back in shape, when I get back down to 180, I'm going to have some loose skin. And but that will be my self-esteem issue for the present. For now, my self-esteem issue is the simple fact that I'm dramatically overweight. I mean, I'm not alone either. I mean, let's be honest here. The stats show 70% of American adults are either overweight or obese. 7 in 10 Americans. So I know when people make derisive comments about someone's weight or something and put people down because of their weight, they're talking about a majority of people. I mean, that's okay. But it's not a good idea, in my view, to get on the wrong side of the majority of people. People have very real struggles. Some people have health issues that complicate it. In my case, it's just overeating in the face of depression. To a smaller extent, it was not exercising to offset those calories that I was taking in the kitchen. But I'm moving in the right direction now, doing 10,000 steps a day, lost 27 pounds this year, lost 55 pounds overall. I'm at 299. Next stop is below 200. And I mean, I'm at below 300 for the first time in years. And by the end of this year, I'll be below 200 for the first time in years. I've lost lots of weight in the past, and hopefully this time I'll actually keep that weight off. But we'll have to see what happens. Oh, word. In 49 minutes of streaming, we've had 14 different people in here at different points. That's pretty cool. Kind of want to stream until we get to, I don't have like a set limit for tonight. I just want to stream until I get to maybe 50 different people at some point have tuned into the stream. So anybody stopping in, even if it's for 30 seconds, a minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, the whole time, I appreciate it. Interesting. I'm looking at the analytics here. 66% of you are watching on mobile phone, or 66% of the viewers so far. 21% a tablet, only 12% a computer. Interesting. I think one of the major struggles, one of the most problematic components of having bipolar disorder is the loss of insight you experience, especially magnified during mania. When I was manic, experiencing delusions, experiencing hallucinations, lashing out at friends, lashing out at family, lashing out at employers, making a fool of myself on social media, making a fool of myself in person, I didn't have the insight to know there was something wrong with me. I thought I was totally fine. I thought it was the rest of the world that had a problem. And that's the way I felt about things. That's the perspective that I had on the world. I thought that I was this all-powerful, omnipotent being. At times, I thought I was the Messiah sent to save the world, all kinds of delusional beliefs. And it's just a testament to how powerful and strange the mind can be when the mind is sick. For 6 months, my mind was incredibly ill. I mean, there's proof of it on my channel. One of my recent videos is called An Unfiltered Manic Rant, Bipolar Disorder Unedited. And it's a long video. It's 40 minutes, 39 seconds. And it is a rant that I filmed and uploaded to YouTube while manic. Now, this was from 2021. I ended up privating the video because I was so embarrassed about it. But now that I'm a bipolar disorder content creator with 1,269 subs, I thought it would be interesting to upload that raw footage so people could get a better idea and more insight into what bipolar mania looks like, how it can manifest, at least how it manifested in myself. And hopefully it could be served as a contrast to where I am now compared to where I once was. My objective is to help people, inform people, spread awareness about this illness, educate to the greatest extent possible. And with content like that, I know that I'm doing exactly this. Yeah, that one's quite interesting in my view. Let me check the stats for that real quick. Okay, so has a 8.8% impression click-through rate. That's about triple what I usually have on my channel. And anything like about 5% is pretty good. Anything above 10% is excellent. So it's on the cusp of being excellent and quite significantly above considered being good. But yeah, if you're curious as to what mania looks like, I mean, hey, feel free to leave the stream and check that video out, An Unfiltered Manic Rant. And I'd love to hear your thoughts and feedback on it. Anybody tuning in, if there's anything on your mind, feel free to share. You don't have to. If you just kind of want to hang out and listen, that's totally okay with me. I appreciate you being here regardless. I brought up the topic of emails earlier, and I was thinking about one of my videos called Hilarious Things I Did While Manic. And I'm thinking about another video where it's called Reacting to Crazy Emails I Sent While Manic. One of the emails I sent was to Alex Jones of InfoWars. I sent it to his whistleblower's email, claiming that I was a relative of John F. Kennedy and I was seeking his protection. If you're curious as to what I said in that email, check out Reacting to Crazy Emails I Sent While Manic. That video has like 3,000 views. It's one of like best performers in long form on my channel. Got a lot of interesting conversation in the comment section on it too. Yeah, that's also embarrassing. I sent an email to Alex Jones. I'm usually a gamer. I play video games. I usually play a lot more than I do though now. I haven't been very consistent in it. I'm kind of a Call of Duty guy. I've played Call of Duty since 2008, since I was 10 years old. I was always a beast of a player. And I know I'm tooting my own horn, but it's true. I mean, even as a 10, 11-year-old, I had like a 2.98 KD on Call of Duty World at War. On Black Ops 1, I had a 3.07, and I actually have a video of my stats on that game on my channel in the Call of Duty playlist. So as an 11 or, no, Black Ops 1 came out in 2010. So I was 12 and 13 at the time. I had a 307 KD. The average is a 1.0. I mean, I was a beast of a player. If I had kept playing and never took a break, maybe I could have done something competitive. Certainly not anymore. My reaction times are much lower than they used to be. I don't play enough. My hand-eye coordination isn't as good. My spatial awareness has declined. My fine motor skills have been reduced. So there's a lot of areas, lots of excuses as to why I can't be competitive in Call of Duty today. But I could have in the past. An opportunity that slipped me by, but I got Red Ring of Death. There wasn't much I could do. I come from an impoverished background and didn't have the financial means to get a new Xbox at the time. If I did, I would have kept playing religiously. Nowadays, I have very little playtime on Call of Duty. I actually play other games more. I play like Dynasty Warriors series. It's based on the Three Kingdoms period of China. What else? I play Elder Scrolls games like Oblivion and Skyrim. A lot of diversity in the games that I play. I just haven't been playing much lately, that's all. So yeah, for my new series idea, it's not going to be one that blows up and gets a lot of views or traction, but it's one that I would be passionate about doing. And I think it would help bring in a new niche of audience, people who are history buffs, people who are interested in public speaking. And that series idea is memorizing and then performing speeches from history from time periods where there was no camera, where there was no audio, and bringing to life speeches that we never got to hear or see. And I'll get into character. I'm thinking about doing like a 1-minute opening to each of those videos where I give context on why the speech was written, where it was given, how it was perceived, who made the speech, and characteristics about them and their history and their personal lives. And I already have an idea of what the first speech I want to do. It's going to take a while to commit to memory, but I can do it. It's about 4,400 words, 200 something sentences. It's a speech by Daniel Webster. He was a United States senator. He's the person my town is named after. And he has a famous speech that he gave in Congress to a packed house. 1830 reply to Senator Hayne. And 4,400 words, that would come out to about, I want to say 18 to 20 minutes. If I speak at a good pace, it'll be about 20 minutes to perform. So with a 1-minute intro, it would be a 21-minute video. I don't suspect a lot of people are going to watch that, but for people who are history buffs, for people who want to get better at public speaking, I think that would be a good series. And I'm thinking about doing a series about public speaking tips too, just based off the experiences I've had, but I kind of want to do that after I do a bunch of historical speeches. See, Rob says, my sister's diagnosed BP2. She doesn't have mania as far as I've ever noticed, but that might be what got her through law school. I think she's depressed mostly. Yeah, there's a few differences between bipolar 1 and 2. Any form of bipolar is bad, but with bipolar 1, I think the notable difference is that manic episodes tend to be longer. They go on for longer periods, whereas in bipolar 2, it's usually like hypomanic episodes that they're not going to go on for like 6 months like my manic episode did, but they could still go on for a decent amount of time. Still have very bad effects. But yeah, you mentioned something interesting that you suspect that maybe the mania she did have could have helped her in law school. And I appreciate you sharing that, because there is an extent to which mania can bolster productivity, but it only does it for so long. If hypomania evolves and develops into full-blown mania, you're not so productive anymore. And I can give an example of this. When at the beginning of the semester, before I suffered my manic episode, I was definitely in hypomania, and I would make a checklist of anywhere from 30 to 40 things, tasks, and I would methodically go through all of those tasks over the course of the day. And it ranged from everything from work to school to fraternity, everything. But then as time went on, my productivity became impaired. The lack of sleep became too much. The rapid talk, the having false beliefs, the having false perceptions, having delusions, hallucinations, and it just exacerbated and spiraled out of control to the point where I was no longer any productive. And that's a common story for quite a lot of people. It's very unfortunate, but it happens. But there's just as many people, I feel like, who will say that, yeah, I felt more productive when I was, a little manic. And I'll need productivity if I'm to get through law school successfully. That's as much as I enjoy reading, as fast as a reader as I am. You're looking at like anywhere from 50 to 100 pages per class, even more in many cases. And if you're taking, how many courses do they usually take first? I think first semester it's usually like 4 or 5 classes. I'm gonna look that up. How many courses does a first year law student take? Oh wow, 4 to 6 courses per semester. Interesting. Typical classes: torts, contracts, civil procedure, property, criminal law, and legal writing. I read that some law schools actually prohibit you from working a certain amount of hours too. They'll put in a strict limit on how many hours you could work, which makes sense because you should be focused on learning the law. It's not an easy task to do. It requires diligence and commitment. Not everyone is cut out for reading hundreds of pages a week. And you're not just reading hundreds of pages a week, you have to actively learn the material that you're reading and start to become familiar with how the law works. I don't think there's much I can do in undergrad to adequately prepare me for law school. It's something that you get used to once you actually start doing it. I mean, even if I were to take, I don't know, let's say 18 to 21 credits a semester in undergrad, I'm still probably not being prepared for law school because, I mean, hundreds of pages a week. And often the way the testing works is you'll get tested for each class once. You'll take one test, or in some cases two, a midterm and a final. And your entire grade is based off that. There is no like homework grade. There is no participation in class grade. And as far as participating in class goes, I mean, they follow the Socratic method where instead of doing like heavy lecture style, professors will bring up a case that was mentioned in the homework and they'll randomly select a student, even one who's not raising his or her hand. And they'll ask the student questions about the case. And some professors will interrogate that student for the entire class. Others will move on to a different student. There's different styles, but the Socratic method is highly prevalent in law school. It's very popular. I mean, maybe not as liked by students, but the people who become law professors must enjoy interrogating students, putting them on the spot. And that's the thing with law in the legal world, you have to be quick thinking. You have to be able to think on your feet and speak extemporaneously in an articulate manner. You have to be able to construct large logical arguments and utilize different rhetorical strategies to bolster your argument and increase the probability of your argument being successfully perceived, bolster your chances of winning cases for your clients. The 2 areas of law I'm interested in are social security law and criminal law. Social security law, because I feel like it would be very intrinsically rewarding to help people with disabilities navigate this world, make their lives a little less stressful. Criminal law, because it would be intrinsically rewarding to ardently stand in people's corners and defend their civil liberties. Innocent till proven guilty is an ancient precept in this country. And I think it's very good that we adhere to that. the legal system isn't perfect, and I hope that I can make some kind of difference in that field. But law is not the only job I want to do. I've mentioned this in a stream before. I mean, it is at one period of time. I don't want to do like this other job at the same time, but at some point, I'd also like to teach high school history. I want to teach advanced placement US history specifically, and then other underlevel courses to help prepare students for AP US history, and hopefully make a difference in the public school system wherever I go. So I'm thinking about doing like 15 to 20 years of law, and then do another 15 to 20 years of being a social studies teacher. And if at that point in time, I think that I would be competent and skilled enough and have a strategic plan to make a difference in the world of politics, then I'd like to get involved in politics as well. One of my long-term ambitions is to be governor of Massachusetts. And it kind of started off as a meme in high school. People would refer to me as the governor. And I would introduce myself in classes and two people as the future governor of Massachusetts. I remember once we were at a DECA event at Nichols College to do a role play, which is a presentation, which you prepare on the spot. You get like 10 minutes, and then you have to perform before a judge who has a role in the business world. You have to help them come up with a solution to a struggle of their business, help them develop a solution to a problem they're dealing with as it pertains to a competitor, or all kinds of different things. So you have to learn how to speak extemporaneously. There's things you can do to prepare for the presentation, but you don't see the role play until you're in that room. You get 10 minutes to come up with a strategy, and then you go communicate it to the judge. So I was at this DECA event. It was a practice event to prepare us for the future events that are where we actually get evaluated for purposes of advancement in the competition. I got a really good score on my role play, and I digress. That's not the point I was making, but we were in the cafeteria of Nichols College, and there were all these high school students from different schools throughout the county. And one by one, we had to introduce ourselves. My name is, I go to school here, and I want to do this in my future. Very quick introductions, 20 seconds or less. Said, my name is Tyler Michael DeFreitas Cleveland Adolfo III. I'm a proud student of Bartlett High School, and I am the future governor of Massachusetts. Fast forward to the district competition, I won first place in my category. Fast forward to the state competition, I won first place in my category. And I remember someone shouting out to me while I was walking around in this the hotel where the competition was held, the conference center, or whatever it was. And somebody shouted out, not somebody part of my high school, but someone who was from that Nichols College cafeteria, shouted out, "That's my governor." So that was pretty funny. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Appreciate you being here. Talking about a wide array of topics today. There is no limit on where we go or what we discuss. There is something. I made a list earlier. The list is lists of things to memorize. These are things that I want to have committed to memory. And if you have any ideas of your own, then feel free to propose them and I'll consider them. And I'd appreciate your proposal. But lists of things to memorize. I just want to be more knowledgeable of the world. I want to memorize all the order of all the books of the Old Testament, the order of all the books of the New Testament, all U.S. presidents. I've done that previously, but I don't remember the order now. All state capitals. I've also done that before, but I don't remember them anymore. I did them when I was much younger. All 27 constitutional amendments. I put, this is a smaller scale one, but memorized 3 poems. I currently have 2 memorized. 1,000 vocabulary words. My first goal is to come up with 300 more vocabulary words, though, to commit to memory and hopefully use in my vernacular. And then a couple things as it relates to Freemasonry. I am a master Freemason, which I am very proud. Not a lot of people on my channel know that. I've only mentioned it in maybe 1 or 2 videos out of the 500 plus I have. So Lots of people believe we're evil. We're the suspects of a whole host of conspiracies. Lots of people who've never stepped foot in a lodge in their entire lives will have all these dubious beliefs as to what our intentions are and what we actually do behind closed doors and what our motives are. It's kind of absurd to have zero personal experience or knowledge of something and basing it entirely off a set of information of questionable quality that you found on the internet. It's highly apocryphal. There's not a lot of facts you'll find about it on the internet. So the only real way to know is to, know someone who will tell you about what we actually do or to experience it yourself. That's often the best way of learning something for certain. It's not many better ways than doing it yourself, right? Yeah, I've been called all kinds of things for being a Freemason. I just find it amusing, honestly. I want to check the device stats, see if they're the same. Yeah, they're actually the same as they were. Okay. I looked at the device type for people who've watched the stream so far. It's still 66% by mobile phone. 21% of viewers have viewed from a tablet, 12% from a computer. I always find weird little statistics like that interesting to look at. Echo Life says, "What are your memorization tactics?" I don't use many like mnemonic devices, but I have been memorizing for a very long period of time, and it's just something I've become skilled at. Ultimately, you want to be in an environment where I don't use mnemonic devices. That's the thing. I don't use like a palace or associate words with imagery. I don't do that. I just do pure rote memorization, and for the most part, it's worked really well for me in terms of standardized testing that I've done and being able to perform under pressure in competitions where money is on the line and I'm being graded and evaluated based on sticking to the content of my speech word by word. And I would get perfect scores on sticking to my script every time. So what do I specifically do is it depends on what I'm memorizing, but I'll clear my environment, make sure that my phone and technology is nowhere near me. And I'll try to understand what it is that I'm memorizing first. And then I incorporate rote memorization. Because oftentimes, and there's lots of teachers who would say this, at least teachers I've had. So don't memorize, understand. The thing is, memorizing and understanding are not mutually exclusive. You can do both. You understand for the purpose of being able to explain in your own terms what something means and to be able to apply it and understand it at a deeper level. You memorize for the purpose of recall and the ability to recall that information in specific moments, to store it into long-term memory for the purpose of recalling it under pressure in a competition. And active recall, the best way is just repetition. Repetition is key. I was a member of the Order of Demolay when I was younger. I joined August 8th, 2014. And that's a youth Freemason organization. It's for youth men. And there was a lot of memorization involved as you went up the positions. I was only a scribe, but I took on different positions in the rituals, and that fostered from a very early period of my life an appreciation and even passion for memorizing. But it's something I believe that people of all intelligence levels are capable of. I think that verbal intelligence in particular is one of the most improvable areas of intelligence. There's just so many ways that you can do it. And it's not limited to just reading, it's not limited to just writing, it's oratory. It's like being fascinated with learning language, and you get better with memorization over time. But being focused, and one of the best ways to do that is having a distraction-free environment. Once you become distracted, your ability to focus is lost for, I can't remember the exact amount of time, but like on average, the time it takes to refocus is like 20 to 30 minutes, somewhere in that range. So if someone knocks on the door, Tyler, dinner's done, or if your neighbor starts blasting rap music at 3 a.m. in the night while you're studying historical terms in your AP US history textbook, like, distractions are brutal. They're the enemy of memorization. I wish I could give you more specifics beyond that, but that's just kind of the way that I look at it, the perspective I have. I don't have like a super unique way of doing it. Echo Life says, have you seen the movie The Great Debaters with Denzel Washington? No, but I want to now that I know Denzel Washington is in it. My favorite actor is Denzel Washington. I've seen most of his movies. So I'm going to have to write that down. Thank you for mentioning that. I wonder what year that was. I'll look it up. But just the name, the title of the movie sounds interesting. It caught my attention right away. And I'm going to write with DW here. That way I actually do it and check it out. That will motivate me to go through with what I'm planning to do. Let's see, The Great. Sounds like I'm going to guess first. I'm going to say 1990s. Oh, okay. I was pretty off. December 25th, 2007. Oh, okay. I was born on the 24th, so interesting. Yeah, it looks like it has very high ratings too. I'm going to try to find somewhere where I could get a quick summary of it. Okay, got a little 2-sentence summary here. Maybe I could find it somewhere on YouTube too, or I'm not sure if it's on one of the streaming apps I have, but a drama based on the true story of Malvin B. Tolson, a professor at, is that Wiley College, Texas? In 1935, he inspired students to form the school's first debate team, which went on to challenge Harvard in the national championship. That sounds really good. Who else is in this? Is there anyone that I recognize? There's someone named Denzel Whitaker. So we got 2 Denzels in here. Yeah, I don't recognize any of these other actors, but that's okay. That's not the judge of a good movie. There's plenty of people who have one-off acting roles and just do phenomenal. So, and yeah, I usually don't remember their names, but that's okay. Some people never get their time to shine. So shining even for a glimpse of a moment is better than never shining at all. Let's see. We've had 15 different people in here so far in 1 hour and 18 minutes. I want to get to 50 different people before I end this. We'll see if I get there. So it's going to take me about 3.5 hours to do that. It's okay. As long as people are interacting, I'll get through it. Otherwise, there'll be lots of dead space in here, but I'll do my best to rant and talk. Appreciate everyone joining in, whether you're here for 30 seconds, the whole time, half the time, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, 5 minutes. It means the world to me. Appreciate everyone being here. I told you all, wow, I can't even talk. I've been very addicted to social media lately, so I'm going to check my Facebook again. All right. Nothing really there. Got an email about my job interview tomorrow. Pretty later in the day. I got so many emails, bro. It's actually crazy. I use them for so many different purposes. I don't like having it all in one place. Like if I ever lose the password to one, or then That would suck if I had it all in one place. All right, I went live today at 6:24 p.m. It is now 7:44 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in today. Appreciate each and every one of you. All right, I got to log into something real quick, and then I'll go check if there's any comments here. Let me see. Okay. I'm excited to see this movie, though. Great debaters. I'm going to look up in a second where I can actually see it. Sorry, everybody. I am part of Gen Z, so as you know, every member of Gen Z has an addiction to social media, and so I have to check it every 15 minutes. No, this is the second time I checked it, but still, my attention should still be devoted to the people tuning into this, but I digress. All right, yeah, there was nothing there. So, all right, let me check. The Great Debaters. Where to watch? I haven't seen that new Gladiator movie either, but I haven't heard terrific things about it. Oh, it's on Netflix. I think it's on Netflix. Oh no, this title isn't available to watch in your country. What? Really? What's this? Okay. Apparently you can't watch it on Netflix. Go figure. No, let me check YouTube. See if it's a movie I could like rent on YouTube. Watch with Curiosity Stream. What the heck is that? Or buy or rent. Rent high definition $3.99. Oh, that's not bad at all. 2 hours and 7 minutes. Yeah, it sounds like you get your bang for your buck. And if I really like it, I'll have 48 hours to watch it as many times as I choose to do. Anybody tuning in for the first time, my name is Tyler Adolfo. I'm a mental health content creator. I primarily make content related to bipolar disorder, but I also make videos about self-improvement, videos documenting my journey through life. I have videos of performances and speech competitions at the high school, university level, story time videos, not too many of those though. I have reaction videos to stand-up comedy. So if you're new here, I'd appreciate you to take a look at some of my content. And if you enjoy, or if it's something that interests you, something that captivates you, then I'd appreciate you hitting that subscribe button as well. Getting close to 1,300 here. But that's my pitch. Rob says turn off your VPN. Is that for so I can access the movie on Netflix? I don't even know how to do that. I would have to look that up, but I mean, I can do that. It's something I feel like I should know how to do. Let me see. How to turn off VPN. Seems easy enough. Yeah, I've never done it before, but I have heard about it. So yeah, I'll figure it out. That way I don't have to. Hey, you potentially just saved me my $3.99. So appreciate it, Rob, and appreciate you, Echo Life, for the recommendation as well. I don't know what it is. I don't know if anyone here can relate to this or if you've noticed this pattern, but it's about the difference in comment engagement on long form versus YouTube shorts. I'm not sure how many content creators can relate to this, but I'm curious about the viewer perspective as well. If you do read comments, if you do read the comment sections on long form videos, the comments are generally like 98% positive, 1% like neutral, and then 1% negative. With YouTube shorts, at best, it's probably like 60% positive and 40% negative. I don't know why my YouTube shorts attract so much negativity, but I mean, wow, I must be a terrible person. I mean, I make videos talking about mental health. I upload clips from speech competitions. What's so deserving of negativity for that? It blows my mind, but I don't know if anybody's noticed that on other creators you watch or anything, but yeah, thank you, Rob. I appreciate the suggestion. Sounds like something actionable that I could do, even potentially tonight when I'm done streaming, depending on what time it is, of course. I'm trying to find videos to potentially react to. I'm not sure what YouTube policies are on that, but might be something to do here. Like I know if I pull up George Carlin videos, we'll get copyrighted probably. But I mean, other people, there's channels that are all specifically about reacting to videos made by other channels, and they seem to do fine and not get flagged for it. So I don't see what the issue would be. I'm just not sure what would be some good content to react to. I mean, plenty of good content. I like a lot of the content I subscribe to, but I'm not sure what would be interesting to you guys. Man, some of these channels I've been following for years, like even before I had an official YouTube channel of my own. I've been watching since I was using YouTube as a guest. It's just incredible to me how many memories I have from watching these channels over the years. I'm still subscribed to channels, conspiracy theory channels that from when I used to be a conspiracy theorist. That's pretty cool. Rob says you may not have a VPN, virtual private network. I have I've heard of NordVPN. It costs about $100 per year. Doesn't sound too bad. It's something you would have paid for in the past. Yeah, I don't have one then. I mean, the $3.99 for renting it, I'm okay with that. Or it's $15 to buy it. I might end up renting it and buying it, which is dumb. But how do I know I like it if I don't rent it first? I could watch some clips of it. There's clips of it on YouTube, and then make a determination on whether I want to buy or rent it from that. But I don't want to spoil too much either, so I'm kind of on the fence about doing that. I guess I'll check what's trending on Twitter. Not a fan of this site, by the way. There's so much negativity. Like, I don't know how so many negative things appear in my feed. Like, I follow mostly like professional esports players, people who play pro Call of Duty, and that's really about it. Let me see who else I follow on here. And yeah, like I follow Andrew Huberman. He makes some content that's all about like science and health research. It's pretty cool. Has some interesting podcasts that I listen to. Some newscasters just to get some attention on what's going on in the world. I follow some Call of Duty teams. I follow a battle rapper named Iron Solomon. He actually reached out to me once before, and I spoke to him on the phone a couple of times because I was in a partial hospitalization program back in 2017. And there was a therapy group where we each shared a song that means something to us, and then we talk about why it's meaningful to us. And I picked a song by this battle rapper named Iron Solomon called Almost There. And it's just a song that's very motivational to me. I also like the melody of it. And I tweeted this out that I shared it in group therapy and everybody loved it. And Iron Solomon retweeted me and said, "This is so awesome. Would love to talk with you on the phone." He DM'd me his number. And so I called him, and I had 4 conversations with him total over the next few years. Regrettably, one of those conversations, the final conversation I had with him, was while I was in a manic state, which really sucks. So probably left a very bad impression, but very cool guy, wicked intelligent, knowledgeable about the world, and a really good battle rapper. If you want to see, not sure who here is interested in battle rap, if anyone at all, but if you are, just type in on the search bar Iron Solomon verse and then enjoy. He has so many battles online. Oh, that's interesting. Interesting Call of Duty event later tonight. I don't see a time for it though. Why would they not have the time listed for this event if they want people to watch it? I don't understand. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Anyone tuning in, appreciate you being here. If there's anything you want to talk about in particular, feel free to put it in the comments. I'll read and address anything you have to say, anything you have to ask. Nothing is off limits for this stream. We're just kind of hanging out, going through the night here. I have a job interview tomorrow, and I'm surprisingly not very nervous about it. I hope that this, I don't know, egotistical feeling that I'm having doesn't serve as a negative tomorrow and prevent me from getting the job. That would suck. That would hurt my self-esteem, but hey, if I don't get it, I have to tell myself it's for the right reason, and there's plenty of other opportunities out there. I don't have to limit myself to this one. Yeah, I really don't care for Twitter or X, whatever you prefer to call it. I really don't care for it. And yet I use it. Like out of every 20 tweets I see, there will be one that will catch my attention. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. That's cool. that's wholesome. But then like sometimes I'll open my Twitter feed and like there will be a horrible video. Like it was a time I went to Twitter, logged into Twitter, and the first thing that pops up in my feed is about a shooting at a hockey ring. Some guy shot up his family and killed them, and then turned the gun on himself and killed himself. And like another time, like a dog fell off of a roof and injured its legs, and it's like, what? Why is that showing up on my feed? What have I typed in to make the algorithm think that I want to see that? It astonishes me. Really is incredible. Oh, Rob says, "What type of job are you interviewing for?" So I don't want to say the exact job. I never shared my exact jobs on YouTube, but it's entry level. At most, it would be like a couple dollars above minimum wage, but it's better than what I have right now, which is nothing. I was considering starting as a caretaker for my mom, which would pay very little and wouldn't allow me to build the level of savings that I need. So I'm interviewing at this place, and I'm thinking about scheduling other interviews as well, just so that I can use that as a negotiation tactic. If I get offered the job, I don't take it right away. I say, I appreciate the opportunity and I'm going to consider it, but I do have other interviews scheduled. I want to see what other offers I get, and then use that as leverage to try and facilitate me getting a higher offer. But I mean, all that's available in my town. I don't live in a very populous place. There's not many high paying jobs out here that I'm qualified for right now. It's pretty much restaurant and retail is what I'm looking at right now. Mm-hmm. Where are we? We're at an hour, 38 minutes, and 50 seconds. How long was my last stream? I'm going to check that real quick. Oh, wow. My last one was rather short. 1 hour, 3 minutes, 23 seconds. My longest one so far was called Reacting to Videos I Filmed While Manic. That was 3 hours, 15 minutes, and 18 seconds. My first few streams actually got more views than my more recent ones, which is kind of interesting. I don't know if it's just like the time period. Like my most viewed ones were from December of last year. Maybe that's the time period where the algorithm has more people actively searching for live streams or something. But then I didn't stream again. I streamed on my birthday, December 24th. I got 104 different viewers over the course of the stream. I didn't stream again until February 7th of this year, and that got 79 different viewers. And then I did my longest stream up until that point, where I talk about achievement, adversity, and mental health. And that only got 44 different viewers, even though I streamed for more than 3 hours in that one. And it's kind of just been a steady decline since then. So, I mean, metrics are okay though. Funny thing is, I haven't gained a single subscriber for my live stream so far. So it's not something I do to expand my audience. It's more to just engage with the audience that I do have. Let's see. Echo Life asks, what comedians do you follow recently, or is George Carlin your all-time favorite? I'll answer the second one first. George Carlin is my all-time favorite. I've yet to discover a stand-up comedian who matches the level that George Carlin did, who produced the feeling in myself that George Carlin did. I mean, I like George Carlin a lot. I feel like he is in many ways like he was a modern day philosopher. He still is, because his videos continue to garner millions of views. People make reaction videos to some of his famous bits today. And I mean like recently, as in like days ago, weeks ago, and those videos will blow up. So, and they are some of the most viewed ones on my channel, not like in the millions, but George Carlin, I like his quotes about, the education system, critical thinking, about government and policy, and a whole array of topics. And I haven't found a comedian who I think is as straightforward and deliberate in what he says as George Carlin was. I'd be open to hearing other possibilities to check out. There's one that I did like, who used to appear on Conan a lot. I'll have to figure out what his name is. I think it's Bill Burr. Yeah, Bill Burr. I like him as well, but he concentrates on subjects that aren't as interesting to me as the ones covered by George Carlin. So, yeah, if you have any recommendations, I'd love to check them out. Rob says, yep, and once you have a job, it's easier to find a better one. Yep. One job could serve as a platform to transition into something even better. I agree. I mean, I'm 28 years old. It's not like I'm giving myself a life sentence with this new job I take. It's not like I'll be there for the rest of my life. I do want to be a lawyer. I want to teach history at some future period. And I'll do what it takes to get there. And part of what I got to do to get there right now is to do anything as a job, really, and build up some savings. So when I go back to school this fall, I have some, assets that I could dig into for the semester. Being in college and not having money is not a comfortable situation. I don't plan on working as extreme of a schedule once the college semester comes up, because at the end of the day, my first priority is being a full-time student. I want to make the most of my education, take as many classes as I can while I'm there so that I get the most bang for my buck. And so I'll probably limit myself to, I know it's going to sound a little ridiculous, but like 12 to 16 hours a week and only work weekends. I wouldn't want to work on school days. I want my focus to be devoted to the more important thing, which is what's going to get me into law school. I mean, what's going to get me into law school is not working a retail or restaurant job, but having an impeccable academic record and some internships will. So I know my priorities. I feel like I have a good grasp on what my priorities should be. One, two, three, four, 6. Oh, wow. From February 8th to February 14th, each of those days, the channel got 1,000 or more views. And that's predominantly from YouTube Shorts, but I'll get like 1,000 views on a Shorts video, and only like 5 views from that Shorts video will then watch one of my long form videos. But Shorts are super easy to make. So even though the conversion rate is incredibly low for me, it still drives some traffic to my long form, which is what I want. I want more exposure to my mental health content. I want to make a bigger difference. want to make the biggest difference I possibly can, whatever is within my power. Let's see. Rob says, Wino Radio, wonderful wino. Have you ever heard that bit by George Carlin? Doesn't sound familiar. It may have been recommended to me. One of my huge reaction video supporters is a guy named Chase. He makes reaction videos of his own now, and he's doing pretty good. I think he's at like 500 subs or something like that, and he's had some videos really pick up steam. He's a huge George Carlin fan. And when I first started making George Carlin videos, he would make these lengthy comments of, it's just like a list of like, here's 50 other George Carlin videos you could react to. And I was like, oh, dope. I'll work my way through those. Thank you, Chase. And altogether, I have like 60 something George Carlin reaction videos. I do have some privated because they were filmed while I was manic and I say some incredibly dumb things in them. And I'm just too embarrassed to put them back to public view. But it wouldn't surprise me if he did recommend that at some point, because these lists he would post were long and every list was something different. Like, so I don't think I've heard that one, Rob. But I'll write it. I'll write it down to check it out myself. No guarantee I'll react to it. I don't really want to go back to the like reaction content right now. But I mean, I still watch stand-up comedy in my free time. And Echo Life says Louis C.K. is a pretty wise guy, but also checked with self-deprecation. Hey, that's always good. Nothing wrong with making fun of yourself. I do it to myself all the time. It's pretty wise, you say. Okay. Louis C.K. And it does sound familiar, but I don't even know what he looks like, or I haven't seen anything from him. Rob says, look it up. It's hilarious. It was one of his early 19th. Oh, wow. It was like old school George Carlin. I'll check it out. Let me just actually see if I could find it right now, just to make sure I could actually. I don't want to get pumped up for something and then not be able to find it. George Carlin, wonderful. All right, comes up on the search bar. That's a good sign. Oh, wow. Someone published it 16 years ago. It has 68,000 views. I'm going to check my George Carlin playlist real quick just to make sure I haven't viewed it already. But let's see. 69 George Carlin videos. First one I reacted to was Big Club. I'm just going to quickly scan this and see if I find that one anywhere. I have reacted to quite a bit of his old school content, including audio only content, which I'm fine with. I would have some people complain about it, like, where's the video? I'm not watching this. It's like, okay, fine. I don't know what you want me to do. There was no video of it. I'm not seeing it. See, I'm in the 50s, video 53, 54, 55, 56. Yeah, I don't think I've reacted to that one. If I do, and I film it, it'll be my 70th video in the playlist. So yeah, I'll take a look at it. And heck, that would be a pretty easy video idea. So maybe I will actually do it, even though I don't really want to go hardcore into the reaction direction again. And I just know whenever I go periods of time without reacting to George Carlin, and then I go back to doing it, my viewer Chase that I was telling you about, he comes back enthusiastically and he lists like 50 different videos again. It's like, oh, welcome back to reacting to George Carlin. Cat Lily says, hi, Cat Lily. How are you doing? Hope you're having a good night or day, wherever you are, whatever time it is for you. Rob says, the one with 68K views is from the album. Okay. Yep, I found the right one. And I look so young in my early George Carlin reaction videos. My earliest one was filmed in 2020, shortly after starting the channel. And I believe it was during the COVID lockdown. I feel like his classical stuff is highly underrated. People always watch Big Club, and that's probably the most reacted George Carlin bit. But there's so many other good ones. Like, why are you reacting to just that one? Why do so many people just do that one? I mean, he says a lot of wonderful pieces of wisdom in it. I get it, but he does that in his older ones too. Anybody tuning in? We're talking about anything and everything. There's no agenda. There's no script. There's no list of topics. We're just kind of flowing freely here. There's so much George Carlin content out there. I could probably make 100 more reaction videos to bits I haven't seen, and there would still be plenty more for me to make. Like, maybe someday I'll work on getting that, but I feel like the reaction content is very limited in terms of interest and growth. Bigger channels could blow up reaction videos very easily, but as a smaller scale channel, it's kind of hard. The retention rates are usually low, and it could hurt your other videos in the algorithm. But if I could find a twist, like if I could get one of my former friends from college, to come chill and react to some videos with me, then that would be more interesting, and I think get more viewer interest to hear two perspectives in one reaction session, as opposed to only hearing my views all the time or my interpretations of what's going on. Echo Life says, I'm going to bounce to a walk. Good chatting with you, Tyler. Echo Life, it's been a pleasure, my friend. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Hope you enjoy your walk. I had a good walk today myself, so I get it. So many benefits. So I appreciate you coming in and engaging. It means a lot. Take care. I'll see you around, hopefully. But thank you for being here. It means a lot. Hope you have a good rest of your night. Peace. I kind of want to get a government position again. Like when I was manic, I interviewed before the town selectmen, and I was requesting to be appointed to the Economic Development Committee, and I got appointed while manic. They voted 3-1 to appoint me. I then got removed from the position a few weeks later because of posts I made on social media, and that's been that. I would like to apply now that I'm stable and get something going, but I'm not sure if they would take another chance on me. It might be kind of one go around and you're done. I mean, it wouldn't hurt to try, but it would bother me if I put in the effort to prepare for a hearing and not get appointed. So I'm not sure I want to set myself up with that disappointment right now. Once I have some experience with Lions Club and Toastmasters, maybe it would better position me to have a higher chance of getting into a committee again. And I really would like that to happen. So we'll see. I'm just going to check out of curiosity if there's any like vacancies, even though I don't plan on applying for anything. Uh, there's so many boards and committees. Oh, here we go. Vacancies. Check this out. Oh, sorry, Rob. So think about this. Back in the 60s and 70s, if you wanted to hear a comedian's material, you had to buy an album. An actual, yeah, good point. Otherwise, you'd only catch short bits on The Tonight Show. Who was The Tonight Show host back then? Sparked my curiosity. Show host 1970s. Johnny Carson. Okay. I think I've seen some interviews that he's done. I'm pretty sure he's the one that I've seen that has some videos of. I'm not sure what year they were, but Johnny Carson, yeah. Yeah, he's kind of a legend, isn't he? I used to watch the Tonight Show with Jay Leno when I was younger, and I tuned into him pretty regularly. I know there's mixed opinions on him because of the whole dilemma with him and Conan, but I like Conan too, and I don't really care for the feud that they have. I was too young to give a damn about it. If I was even alive, I don't know. But yeah, I really liked Jay Leno. I used to watch Jimmy Kimmel, not Jimmy Kimmel. What's his name? Jimmy Fallon. Fallon, who he hosted the show right after him. But I haven't really watched, since he's taken over the Tonight Show himself. And I liked Jimmy Fallon too, but Jay Leno was the one that I really liked listening to. He was a pretty good stand-up comedian in his own right. Are you referring to Jay Leno, Rob, or Johnny Carson? Cat Lily says, "Be on a committee." I mean, yeah, I gotta check the vacancies. Okay, Finance Committee, full members 3, Historical Commission, full members 2, Zoning Board of Appeals, full member 1, alternate 1, whatever that means. Planning Board, full member, associate member 2, and then the one other one is Webster Housing Authority. When's the next? The next Board of Selectmen meeting is in March. It's actually the day before my psychiatry appointment. Maybe it's not the best idea to go appear before him. I would like to testify and talk about like how the actions I had while I was on that committee weren't reflective of my actual character. Oh, did you? Okay, Rob, I just read your comment. I actually spoke to Andy on the phone a few months ago. How did that come about, Rob? I'm curious to hear that story. And how did it go? Was he interesting fella to speak with? Callie, you like Jay Leno too? Yeah, I like them. The committee that I used to be on is full, and it has 8 members. Interesting. Want to see. There's a reporter who used to cover some stories for me in high school. I don't remember what committee she was on, but I want to see if she's still on a committee. She actually might be able to help me and give me an honest opinion on whether I should look into doing this again. There is a number here to the executive assistant to the Board of Selectmen. All right, check that out. I don't even know if I'm registered to vote anymore. I should look into that too. If I'm going to go about being at town hall for town selectman meeting, I should see if I'm even eligible to vote. Rob says he was on Amit Zappa's podcast, Rock Tales, and I called in and talked to him and Amit. Oh, okay. Cool. The only time I've called into a show, 2 times actually, I called into a show about battle rap. He covers battle rap news. I don't know what the name of his channel is anymore. I don't follow the scene anymore. But one of my favorite battle rappers, Disaster, was appearing on his channel, and I called in and got to talk to Disaster for a little bit. It was really cool. The other time I called into a show, it was a political show. It was like January or February of 2020. And I called into the David Pakman show to discuss the ongoing Democratic primary at that time. And I asked a question specifically about Amy Klobuchar. I don't remember what it was. But I also told David how he and I actually went to the same university. David Pakman and myself both went to UMass Amherst. And he recommended me a coffee shop in the area to go to. So that would be pretty cool if I don't think he does call-ins anymore, though. That's the thing. I'm going to see if he does still do call-ins. Oh, yeah. I'm seeing on the Reddit here that he ended the call-in segment. It wasn't popular with the audience. I can see why that would be the case, but I still feel like it's an important component to have to engage with your audience. He will still take calls from time to time on the Discord, usually directly after a live stream. Oh, okay. I'm going to check when he's live. Mondays and Thursdays at 3 p.m. Dang it. Just missed it. No. Now I got to wait till Monday. If he even does call-ins. I'd like to call him and tell him that I did check out that coffee shop. Ooh, my computer is getting pretty hot, but we're going to still push through here. This computer is pretty new. I just got it last year, so it shouldn't be getting hot like this. I don't feel like streaming is that demanding of an activity on the computer. I don't understand why it would be so hot. We've had 17 different people in here so far over the course of 2 hours, 5 minutes, and 19 seconds. I said that I would do this stream until that gets to at least 50 different viewers, at various points, not at once. That would be crazy if we had 50 in here at once. Chat would be popping off, but just 50 overall. All it takes, and it's kind of crazy to me, is all it really takes to blow up a channel and transform a channel on YouTube is for one video to blow up. Because when one video blows up, it also results in other videos on your channel being pushed in the algorithm. Because oftentimes those people will, if they liked your video and it gets a lot of views, they'll subscribe, they'll like it. The algorithm pushes it out more. And then those viewers will click on other videos of yours that catch their interest. They'll check out some of your old videos, your most viewed videos, your least viewed videos. And it can push some other videos into the algorithm, get them to pick up steam again. It's just like a reciprocal effect. Affects everything. I've seen it happen with channels I subscribe to, where they'll make a video and they're a 2,000 subscriber channel and a video gets 700,000 views and then they have 15,000 subscribers. It's like, and they slowly climb up to 30,000 just from having that one semi-viral video. Whether or not I ever hit that, I don't know. I mean, it's a lottery, but it's also a quality thing. I mean, I don't edit my videos, and even if some people find what I'm talking about interesting, just not having edits hurts me because people generally don't have the attention spans that they used to. It's a great book about this by Nicholas Carr called The Shallows, where he talks about the detrimental effects of technology on the attention economy, as he calls it. It's super fascinating. And I think it's the reason why my YouTube shorts perform so well and my long forms have been in a little bit of a slump. I mean, the shorts are, a 15, 10-second commitment. Not everybody's willing to watch a, 12 to 15-minute video, though. I mean, people are time crunched. They want to watch other things. They're not ready to commit, even if it's a topic that interests them. I mean, there's lots of people who enjoy the content they watch but don't finish a video. I'm someone who does it myself a lot. I'll click a video, I'll get 5 minutes into it, and then I'll see another video title, because as I'm watching the video, I'm also scrolling and looking for other videos to watch after. And sometimes something will catch my interest so quick that I just want to start watching it right away. I do that quite frequently. It's probably not best for my attention span, or maybe it's a sign of how bad my attention span is. But what can you do? Technology is so addicting to me. I don't know. I'm not happy with how addictive technology has become for me. Rob says, you got to stick with it, though, because like you said, all it takes is one viral video. Yep. That's all it takes is one gem, one needle in the haystack to changes everything. There's people who, over the course of a decade, will upload 1,000 videos, and it's not till they upload their 1,010th video that video blows up their channel. There's people who will upload 500 videos, and out of nowhere, a video they uploaded 3 years ago, maybe it was their 200th video to the channel, will just blow up out of nowhere. So you never know what's going to happen. Like, I might wake up one day and glance at my phone and see my notifications totally blown up. But I mean, even now, as just a 1,000 subscriber channel, I still get enough comments to where there's days, especially when I'm having struggling days, it could be hard to respond to all of them right away. I don't intentionally do that, but I feel like if I want to have a more engaging community, I have to get better at that myself. It's something I should work on. especially if the channel were to blow up and I'm just like ignoring all these comments. Cat Lily says, I try to finish watching videos. I often watch longer videos in chunks, not all at once. Oh, okay. Yeah, whatever works for you. The day, YouTube's primarily an entertainment site, and some videos can really drag on and be long, and I'm guilty of that myself. I've been told this a lot in my life, that I struggle to get to the point, whether I'm talking, texting, or writing. On the latter, my AP English language and composition teacher in high school, Mrs. Hensel, absolutely would always compliment me on how talented of a writer I am, but then she would qualify it and say, you could say more with less. And that always kind of stuck with me since then. You can make the same point in 10 words that you make in 50 words. You really can. And sometimes less is more. It sounds crazy, but less is more sometimes. I know it's like paradoxical to think of that, but it's the truth. Why take 5 minutes to say what you can say in 30 seconds? And there's a saying, I've always been passionate about presentations because it's a form of public speaking. I'm not sure who said this, but I learned it from my health teacher in high school, Mr. Nassis. There's a saying, a quote that goes, if I have to give a 50-minute presentation, I'm ready to go right now. If I have to give a 3-minute presentation, I'll need a week or something like that. Because if you have 50 minutes, right, you have all the time in the world to make your point. If you have 3 minutes, you have to be much more selective about how you're going to distribute that time to what you're saying to make your point in a way that's effective, that captivates your audience. It's much more challenging. Anybody tuning in, I appreciate you. Anybody just joining in, welcome. Feel free to engage in chat if you like. We are talking about anything and everything. For those who don't know me, I'm a mental health content creator primarily, but I upload a diverse range of content. So if that sounds interesting to you, please check out some of my other content. I appreciate it, or stick around here, hang out. If not, I appreciate the 30 seconds you've been in here. Rob says, I've got to go. Good chatting with you, Tyler. I need to round up 3 more cats that are outside before I can start getting ready for bed. Okay, Rob. Appreciate you being here, man. Thank you for engaging in chat. It means a lot. And it was a pleasure to have you here. And good luck rounding up those cats. How many? Oh, no, you're going, but I was just curious how many cats you have. See you, Rob. Good seeing you. Hmm. 6 cats. Wow. I got 1, but hey. All right. Thank you for sharing. You have a good night now. That's incredible. My fear with even just having like 2 is like, would they get along? I have a super senior cat. He's 19 or turning 19 this year. I always forget what year it was that it's like I'm always a year apart from what he actually is, but I'm not sure if I got a cat if he would get along with it. So all right, time for my periodical check of social media. I know nothing on Facebook. Yeah, I'm not going to spend too long on X either, or Reddit, whatever you call it. No, Twitter. I mean, I'm checking Reddit now. Whenever I type on Reddit, I always make so many typos. I don't know why. This is like such an issue with me, whether I'm on my laptop or my phone. I don't know what the deal is. Rob says, and I'm not a cat person, but I love uh, uh, everyone dearly. I lost track of your comment. I guess I'm stuck with them. Kelly says, I have two brother cats, so they get along pretty well. That's good. And then Rob said, I have four males and two females, and they all do great together. That's impressive. All right, I'm out. Good night. Kelly says, actually, only one is officially mine. My best friend owns one, and I own one. We take turns taking care of them. Oh, that's interesting. So, wait, how does that work exactly? Do you like say, like, all right, I'll have this cat for uh 2 weeks, and you have the other one for those 2 weeks, and then we just trade off? Is that what you're saying? I just want to make sure I'm understanding right. It's pretty interesting. I haven't heard of that before, but that's pretty cool. If I'm even interpreting what you're saying right. Things can be misinterpreted on the internet very easily. I've learned that many, many, many times. Ugh, I don't know why I'm so tired. I mean, I get very inconsistent sleep at night, but then I sleep all day, it feels like, as of late. Cat Lily says, I watch both of them during the week while she works. She watches them on the weekends while I'm at my boyfriend's house. He doesn't want kittens messing up his place. Fair enough. Gotcha. Yeah, I misunderstood. So it sounds like it's an arrangement that works, and you get the benefit of having cats, but not always having to deal with the. I mean, there's not. I don't feel like there's many negatives of having a cat, but there's some. Being able to have a few days off is pretty cool, I guess. Cat Lily says it works pretty well so far. Happy to hear that. How old are your cats, if you don't mind me asking? Mine is a super senior. I wonder what he would be in human years or cat years, whatever way you're supposed to say that. How old is a 18-year-old cat in human years? Equivalent to an 88-year-old to 90-year-old human. Wow, I'm doing a pretty good job as a cat owner, if I'd say so myself. I'm gonna do my best to get him to 100 or higher. This is making me wonder what is the oldest cat in the world right now. Uh, it brought up Cream Puff, who lived for 38 years. That's wow. The world's oldest living cat turned 30 a month ago, and her name is Flossie. I wish I could have mine that long. It's incredible how long cats could live if they're just taken well care of. And 10 months. Oh, wow. Still very young. Got a long, hopefully as long as possible, journey ahead with your cats. So hope you enjoy every moment. Having a cat is awesome. I love cats. I live in an apartment complex, and there's lots of outside cats too. Some people will feed them; they're not supposed to, and of course, there's always a Karen who will complain about it. Don't feed the outside cats. And it's kind of sad because a lot of those outside cats were previously indoor cats, but people either get evicted or they just move and they can't take their cats with them to their new apartment or house, and they just throw them outside, which I can never imagine myself doing that. Like, imagine having a cat for, I don't know, 5 years, 5 years of your life living with this cat, and you just throw your cat outside because of the inconvenience of having to take it with you. Like, uh, I don't pass judgment on a lot of people, but that really grinds my gears. Don't get a pet if you can't commit to loving it your whole life. That's like the perspective that I have. I've seen videos of people, pulling over on a dead end road and taking their dog out and then abandoning their dog because they can't take care of their dog anymore. And I can't imagine how those animals feel. Cat Lily says, the oldest cat I've personally met was 22. I think that is really old. Cat Lily says, thanks. I hope your cat lives a very long life as well. Thank you, Cat Lily. I mean, he's doing pretty good so far. To my knowledge, he doesn't have any health problems. It's been a few years since we took him to the vet, but he doesn't have any issues really. So, I mean, not any that I am aware of or notice. They do say animals are pretty good at masking problems, so it'd probably be wise for me to give him another vet check soon. But I just don't got the transportation right now. I could do a Uber Pets drive. I think there's an Uber service specifically for if you have a pet. I don't know if they provide the. I don't want to say the cage, but I can't think of another word for it. But the cage that you put your animal in to take them somewhere. I don't know if they provide that themselves or what makes Uber Pet different from regular Uber. If it's just that they're pet allowed, or if that's the only difference, I'm not sure. But that would pretty much be the only way for me to get him another vet check now, which I would like to do. All right, it is 8:50 p.m. I think I'm actually gonna end things here. Kind of want to watch a little bit of YouTube myself and maybe do some light reading before I go to bed. Probably not, to be honest, but maybe I'll get back into the swing of that sooner rather than later. I just wanted to update, provide info on things going on in my life, and appreciate everyone being here. Appreciate you, Cat Lily. And to the other 2 viewers who haven't said anything in chat, I appreciate you too. But I don't mind if you engage or not. The fact that you're here means a lot. So thank you, everybody. And I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your night. Take care. Love, light, and tranquility to all.